Everybody, thanks so much for listening to Fire Breathing Rob. If you're a first timer, please like, subscribe, share on YouTube or Spotify or whatever the heck podcasting site you're listening to us on. We do appreciate you tuning in. We've done tons of different interviews, and we're going to keep going as the months, the days, and the years go on. I should say days, months, years go on, and the better formulation on that. But anyways, enough of the nonsense. We do have a special guest today. It is Ariel Vox, Crack the Luck Code. We're going to talk about her book and many other things, and hopefully we can have her on again down the road. Ariel, thanks so much for coming on. Greatly appreciate your time today, and it was so good to meet you a couple weeks back.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you again, Rob.
All right, thanks so much. So let's talk a little bit about you in general. Then I do want to get into the book, but tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how the book came about.
Oh, it's a very interesting story with the book. I missed my flight, and
Okay.
it was 4th of 4th of 4th, so April 4th, 2024. And as I was sitting there and I had to wait for the next flight and I had to pay a huge price for a ticket, and I
Oh,
was
wow.
really angry with myself
Yeah.
for missing the flight. And I suddenly had a thought. It just comes like a gentle whisper. It's
Mhm.
fourth, 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 and everything in nature is in force. Like
Mm,
four cardinal directions, four card suits, four blood types, four phases of the moon, and
mhm,
etc. A lot of more force. I had a whole list, but I was so angry with myself, and I
sure.
didn't even want to think about this. So I sent myself a text message so I can think about it later.
Okay.
And this is how the luck code came about. And
Mm,
luck is four uh, letters again, and it speaks about four personalities.
okay.
And they're not distinct personalities, they're expressions of personality, they're patterns, they're four different languages that we all use. Four languages of personality expression. That's how I can describe it.
So let's talk about this just to kind of drift into the book again. So you missed the flight, you did the text message, you thought back about it. Obviously, I'm sure you paid a substantial amount of money, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So go a little deeper into that because there's a lot of people that have a lot of issues going on in this country, not to mention around the world. We see war all over the place. The economies in many different countries around the world are in turmoil due to that. There's a lot of people that think that luck for them is, zilch, zero. Talk a little bit about how the book reflects on that.
The book states that luck isn't random, nor
Mhm.
accident, nor fate, but actually hidden in personality. Because
Okay.
we all express ourselves in a specific way, and there are four specific personality languages that we all use. And if you don't know your own personality, and if you are not able to assess the personality of the other person, it's like you're speaking French, they speak Japanese.
Right.
And even when you say the exact same thing, it sounds different and you don't understand each other. So it's very important to learn personality because when you meet people all the time. During the day, you meet so many people. First of all, it's your family, your children,
Mhm.
your parents, then your friends, then your colleagues, then your boss.
Right.
And
But
you need to be able to communicate with them. And there are so many differences. For example, one person loves clarity, another person needs a little bit of chaos because it motivates them. And when you can adapt to what they need, you can actually achieve much better results.
I just wanted to reframe and tell people about the book again. We do hope you get the book. It is Ariel Vox, Crack the Luck Code. Definitely go and get that book. Again, Ariel Vox, Crack the Luck Code. I did want to get this in because two quick things, but let's start with the first thing about personality because, again, there's a lot of influences on people, whether it's their family, their friends, and the list goes on. And people are pushed to act a certain way, think a certain way by what they see through the media, through their family, the TV, the list goes on and on. How do they formulate their own personality? Because everybody is genetically different, everybody thinks certain ways, but again,
Yes.
there's those influences.
Actually, you'll be really surprised when you
Okay.
discover that there are four patterns and we all follow them. And every one of us is just a combination of these four patterns. And
Okay.
luck is actually an acronym of these four patterns. And I've chosen to give them names, not just names, but faces. I've chosen to represent them as animals because human brain understand pictures and stories and images, not letters, not numbers. So luck is a representation of four animals. L, let me show you so you can see it visually.
Okay.
L is the lion. So lion is the king personality. They're results driven, they're goal oriented, they're highly productive.
Sure.
But they can be a little bit intimidating, a little bit aggressive sometimes. So everybody has positive and negative sides, strengths and weaknesses, and we need to work through all this. And also, lion is the fire element because if you think about it, fire has a mane. It looks like fire. I mean,
Hmm.
lion has a mane, which looks
Yeah.
like fire. So that's
Right.
how you remember it. Then the next one is U. It stands for umbrella cockatoo. Umbrella
Mhm.
cockatoo is a type of parrot. And parrots are talkative. They're colorful, they're vibrant. And parrots are people who relationship, communication driven. And it's not just any parrot, it's a parrot with an umbrella. So this means accessories, means big personality, charismatic personality. And nobody is just one personality, by the way. We're a combination of all of this. All of
Mhm.
them exist in us. They're just like energies inside us. But we give priority and dominance to some of them more than others. And this could be due to trauma, due to life experiences, due to choices for so many reasons. But the next one is coral. So, coral, what do we know about coral? It sits on the ocean bed, and even
Mhm.
if the thunderstorms on the surface are huge, the coral remains calm and peaceful all the time. So, that's how you remember it. And coral is what? Water. Coral lives in the water.
Sure.
Parrot lives in air. So we have the four elements here as well. And the next is K. It stands for koala. So koala, what do we know about them? First of all, they stay on the tree and they chew eucalyptus all day long. So koala are detail driven people. So they can chew on a topic forever, like nobody else. They can get to the very depth of it. Koala is all about quality. Quality.
Right.
They're analytical, they're great at research. If there is
Mhm.
a crisis management, a crisis, they can manage it very well because they can see the depth of the problem. It's all about insight, about depth with koala
Mhm.
people. And they're the earth energy. And they're very motherly as well. So that's how we know koala carries their babies in the pouch. So
Right.
that's as well a way to remember it. So that's the benefit of this system because it gives you
Mhm.
images that you can easily understand the personality. And we can go in so much depth with this.
Right. I, I want to go into this because when we talk about, again, the issue of, personality, leadership, we never really kind of drifted into with luck how there's some aspects, and maybe you disagree with this, there's some
Mhm.
aspects of luck that maybe are not luck, but they're seen as luck because there's a lot of people that their families have a lot of money, they have a lot of status. If I'm from that family, maybe I move up fast. I can call it luck, but other people might see it as
Mm.
your parents or your family is pushing you up the ladder to be a politician, own a
Yeah.
company, be a millionaire, a billionaire. The list goes on and on. What would you say to that? Is that still conceived as luck, or is that something else?
Well, the way you describe luck right now is more about happiness. And you might
Okay.
achieve everything in the world and still not be happy.
Right.
Happiness is inside. Happiness, people look for happiness outside. So if I get this job, if I get this husband or wife, if
Mhm.
I become at the top of, if I get to the top of my career, if I get this friend, if I get this amount of money, and then you get $1 million and you can't sleep all night because you're worried you're going to lose it.
Right, right,
And then you strive to get 10 million. So how could you be happy on 10 million if you can't even sleep on 1 million?
right.
So it's not like this. Luck, um, life experiences, to the way I believe it, life experiences come to shape you as a person, to give you growth, internal growth. And you
Mhm.
might consider it luck. It's never luck. It's you have a soul and you have a body,
Oh,
and your soul wants you to grow in deeper understanding of who you are. And you might get experiences when you feel lucky, or other experiences when you don't feel lucky, but everything is for your ultimate good so that you can grow as a person. Because you
mhm.
might fail, for example, and you think that's a bad thing. But look 10 years afterwards and you discover it was the best thing ever happened to you. Or
Yeah.
sometimes you really wanted something when you were 20 years old and it didn't happen. For example, you were in love with someone and you thought that would be the best person to share your life with. And you meet this person 20 years later
Hmm.
and you think, I'm so grateful I never married this person because we are so
Right.
incompatible.
Yeah, no,
So,
I hear you.
yeah, luck is nothing in life is solid. It's all
Mhm.
about perception. And if you, that's a very big clue, by the way. If you perceive something as good, it will work out to be for your good. But if you think of something as bad, it will definitely lead you to something bad. It will lead you to negativity. So everything needs to be worked out inside, not outside. People always look outside. So I earned this money, but then I lost it because. So they
Mm.
always look for a reason outside. The reason is always inside because you can't carry it. That's why you lost it. You were scared. That's why you lost it. Be brave. Develop your personality so that you can handle it. Yeah.
Well, I want to go into this because I think it's important. I think it's important to talk about this as well because we never really talked about how faith intertwines with luck. Did you also look into that?
Well, I have my personal beliefs about this.
Sure.
Again, I believe you have a body and you have a soul. And we tend to think that you have a body that has a soul inside it. And
Mhm.
actually, you have a soul that has a body inside it because your soul
Right.
is so much bigger. Because if you think about your soul, right now you can imagine being in Thailand and you are
Right.
instantly there. So, which one is bigger?
Yeah.
Your soul can go to Thailand in 1 second, your body cannot. So your soul is bigger, and there is always a fight between your body and your soul. Which one is going to win? And sometimes you
Right.
procrastinate for the reason related to the body, but most of the time, or at least sometimes, you procrastinate because you are not in alignment with your soul. That's
Mhm.
what I believe.
No, and I think it makes a lot of sense. We do hope again people go in Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, your local bookstore. It is Ariel Vox. Again, crack the luck code. Definitely check it out. Very great book. I want to go into the last few questions and kind of talk about, the stress responses of all this stuff going on. We live in a very stressful world as far as that goes. Things, as far as world events, economic events, are changing at the split of a second. How do we, and I'm trying to form this in the right way because I feel like we could go in different directions with this. Um, how does that deal with luck? Because some people would say that, all this stress makes them do all these great things. It's bad for their body, their mind, their body, their soul. but it also puts the press on them to achieve greatness. There's other people that work very terribly under stress.
Mm. Everyone experiences stress in a completely different way, and actually, it's four different ways again.
Okay.
And you need to know your personality so you know what is the most likely way you respond to stress. For example, a lion responds to stress like a tornado, like a volcano. So
Okay.
they tend to erupt like you don't expect it.
Hmm.
It's just a mountain and then suddenly they erupt. And the lava can destroy everything on the way. So lions are very results driven. They can achieve anything they want. But the problem is they might destroy everything on the way of achieving it. So
Yeah.
the goal is so important that the people around them are not that important. So the
Mhm.
lion needs to work in this direction uh, to soften up. So when you have fire, you need to put some water on it if you want to calm the fire down, right? That's how you do it. You balance the energies. And then the parrot is more like their response to stress is more like an earthquake. Again, you don't expect it.
Right.
It's surprising, and it shakes everything, and everything that is shaking falls apart. But
Mhm.
then, after an earthquake, people start rebuilding. So part comes back to their senses very quickly, and they start rebuilding. So it's about feeling, it's about energy, expression, connection with them, and very quickly they go back to the connection with people. And then coral, they respond to stress like a drought. So coral is water and they respond to stress like a drought. So they withdraw their energy, they become passive. So
Mhm.
coral might see any red flags, but they might keep quiet because they don't want to cause a conflict. So fear of conflict is the biggest thing for them. They want balance, stability, and they can be great in diplomacy, by the
Mhm.
way, because they don't want conflict. So they can be great mediators. But at
Mhm.
the same time, they become passive. And then we have the koala. Koala is like an avalanche and they build up. So they start with something small and they don't say a word and they build up more and more and more and more. And then just the tiniest sound can trigger an avalanche and an avalanche can
Right.
destroy everything. So that's the way koala responds to stress. So once you realize and understand what is your expression, the way you respond to a situation, what you need to do is pause, think about it, and think how you would rather change your response. You are not, you will have habits. It's not just who you are as a person, but we also have developed habits because I have always done this. That's why I keep doing this. Like koala
Yeah.
there, they go into analysis paralysis. So they can
Mhm.
go in this downward spiral of negativity, even depression. And once you
Right.
understand that this is the way your mind works, don't directly go into the habit of doing the same, doomsdaying. Don't go into the habit, just pause, take a break, think about it, and step by step change your response.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I think people really need to look into the book and definitely again check that out at Barnes and Nobles. I think it's very important again to get the book. Again, crack the luck code, Ariel Vox. Before we end the interview, because I know we're running out of time, what do you think people, talked about many different things, people should really focus on, in their own lives?
Probably the biggest thing that's coming to mind at the moment is don't look outward, look inside. All the
Mhm.
answers are inside.
Right.
Your freedom doesn't come through restriction, it comes from liberation. And liberation comes from inside. So when you know yourself, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you actually have the power to change it. You don't have to think that you are this person, that's who you are, and you can't change. And this is
Yeah.
what a personality code allows you to do, to see your personality as an extension of you. That's not just who you are. You can be whoever you want to be. You just need a little bit of awareness so that you can change whatever you don't like. You can strengthen your core gifts. And actually, I have a favorite saying. It's my own quote, but every superhero is just a normal hero until
Yeah.
they meet their supervillain. So you
Mm,
need to meet your weaknesses face to face. That's the only way you can develop your superpowers. And we all have superpowers. So
yeah.
just discover yours by
Yeah.
overcoming your weaknesses.
No, I think it's very important. Again, arielvox.com. It is ARIELVOX.com. Definitely, again, get the book. It's Crack the Luck Code. I believe you can order it online as well as Amazon and then go to Barnes and Nobles. The list goes on. And can you order it right off the website?
The best thing is go to the website, register. There are free materials as well. So you can get the free materials. And then there is a link that will take you to Amazon. The easiest way to get it is on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely check it out at Amazon. Again, wherever books are sold. We'll definitely do this again. I know we're running out of time right now. I double booked myself like an idiot, but that's par for the course. But anyways, I'm so grateful that we could get you on. I'm so grateful, and I hope that we can hook you up with some of our friends to have you on their shows as well. Again, arielvox.com, VOX. It is Crack the Luck Code. Definitely get the book and also go to the website again to find more about her, work with her. The list goes on and on. Ariel, thanks so much for coming on the program. Greatly appreciate it.
And thank you so much, Rob. It's such a pleasure to see you again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for warm welcome.